Ooh.
Yay!
I will always dig that little music.
Yeah.
The music's so awesome and the logo is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the epic tone.
I like the long one, the long logo music thing, because it's like got the music and it's really cool. I like it.
So dramatic. Very cool.
Dramatic.
We're after a brief break. It's been 2 weeks since our last game. 3 weeks actually, because 2 weeks ago we did our Q&A. So we're back and we're playing Tiny Cthulhu tonight. You have to forgive me. I am playing from the remote and strange land of North Carolina.
Nice.
Normally live. So I'm out of a hotel room the whole time. So if I suddenly vanish, I apologize.
Uh-oh.
The monster gotcha. That's what we'll
Right?
interpret it as.
Yeah.
That's it.
Totally.
I tried to make it not so like eerily green behind me, but something is just at work here and I can't stop it. So
nothing wrong with a little eerie green tonight.
Appropriate.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in and joining us. I'm going to turn the time over to Amadi to get us started.
Hello. Okay, so it's been a little while, but welcome to YUKON Dark, our Tiny Cthulhu live play that's set in obviously the Yukon. So we're super excited. A couple of weeks ago, we had a Q&A, and before that we had episode 6 where you guys finally saw something really scary. So before we get into that recap of what we've been doing so far, let's go ahead and have all of our players introduce themselves and their characters. And we'll start with Ryan. And actually, we're going to start with Ashley. Ashley's always last. So we're going to start with Ashley.
It was given to me and then taken away.
Nope. I went like this. I was like, no, it's mine. My name is Ashley. I will be playing... why do I want to say Molly McButter? That's not her name at all. That's a spice.
Gosh, if it was Molly McButter,
yeah,
I would have changed everything.
Let's do it.
This would be a different game.
This is going to go great. I'm really excited. So I play Molly McGee is the name of my character. And she's a new money dilettante. And she's very in it for herself. If she can help someone along the way, then great. But that is not her goal.
And we'll go up to Ryan.
Okay, as she said, I'm Ryan. I'm here from the channel Man vs. Meeple, where we do a ton of different board game content and talk shows and live plays and all kinds of board game stuff. But I do love role-playing games. I write role-playing games, design role-playing games. I've worked with Alan for years on role-playing game stuff, so I'm glad to be here actually playing in a game with Alan, and he's pointing at me right now.
Yeah. He's just booping the screen.
Boop, boop.
He's vamping.
So yeah, I'm excited to be here and really like play through. This is like my first real full Tiny campaign, so that's great.
Wow. Awesome. And do you want to introduce your character?
Oh yeah. I'm full of myself. I'm like, it's just about me today.
And I didn't introduce myself at all. I just introduced my character and a buttery goodness spice from 30 years ago.
We're just on the point tonight. My character's name is Blue-Eyed Bailey.
I can't give you people a night off. Oh my gosh.
He is a kind of con man. I mean, he definitely saw an opportunity in this gold mining town to kind of, find some easy marks maybe. Which there are definitely, and there's a lot of shady characters in this town that he certainly doesn't feel remorse for ripping off, but now he's just kind of sucked into this greater mystery and trying to unravel what's going on. But ultimately, at the end of the day, kind of like Molly, maybe not as much. As long as he makes that with some money and maybe a little property, he'll probably be happy.
Awesome.
Or it's probably not going to end up happy though. It's Cthulhu.
It's a Cthulhu game. All right, let's go over to Gina.
We'll see. Hi, I'm Gina. I exist as Gina Ricker in real life and on the internet. You can find me all over the place. And I've done some streaming and podcasting, for almost a decade now, which is when I discovered gaming. So for tonight's game, I'm playing Katie McGraw, who is our resident kind of spooky mystic person. She's a fur trapper by trade, but she has discovered that she has gifts and that she can do some magic-y sort of things. She also has a familiar who travels with her named Edgar, who's her raven companion.
Awesome. Okay, and Alan.
I'm sorry. The Twitch channel has devolved into a discussion of what butter is best, and I'm heavily invested.
Oh no!
Who's winning? Who's winning?
Right now we're on Kerrygold. So
Kerrygold,
I do
absolutely.
love Kerrygold.
Yes.
If I can't have Molly McButter, then Kerrygold's where it's at.
Is that shaky butter?
That's Molly McButter is the shaky butter.
Alan,
introduce yourself. Yes.
I'm Alan.
Hi.
I run Gallant Night Games. I wrote Tiny Cthulhu's rules. And I am hot and sweaty and humid here in the northern south. I don't even know what part of the country this is, geographically speaking. But I do know I don't like humidity. And my beard is all fluffy, and I haven't spent hours like trying to tamp it down. So,
can you imagine if you still had it from before?
Yeah.
I'm working in the beard.
Yeah, you're getting really used to that Fargo weather, huh?
Oh yeah. So I'm playing Jameson Moore. Jameson Moore is a sled dog and musher who serves as a communication link between different frontier towns in our game, and he is a shoot first, then don't ask any questions eventually kind of guy. Those questions need the answers you might not like. If you shoot, you're just done.
Yeah. And that is a perfect segue into our recap. Before we get to that, I guess I'm Madi Murdoch. I'm a freelance writer. I worked a little bit on Tiny Cthulhu, and I'm super excited for tonight's campaign because we have some awesome clues that everyone is about to face. So last time, to kind of recap, we had a really interesting turn of events where all of you went into Barden's house, and you discovered that he was doing some strange magic with the book that he got from Delilah Whitaker's room. And that magic that you all witnessed was namely turning rocks into gold. Which is really weird, because why would someone that owns a gold mine need to know how to do that? Anyway, the other thing that you all ended up doing was deciding to leave town because it was getting a little unfriendly. And on your way out, you saw a dark shape at the top of a tree, and this dark shape unfurled some enormous wings. And that's where we ended last time. So kind of want to start off there by, well, first having everyone make some corruption saves, because we haven't done that in a while, and we're about to witness something horrible.
Yeah. Let's see.
So
I don't have my...
Go ahead and have everyone do a corruption test.
I just have my regular dice instead of my cool Tiny Cthulhu dice I got from the Kickstarter. But
those are way cool.
Not good.
Not great.
I'm gonna take some corruption here.
Okay.
As am I. See, if I had my Tiny Cthulhu dice, I'd be fine. But
it's all about the dice that you roll. That's I've heard that.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a couple people losing some corruption points, but I'm curious, where is everyone in your threshold? I'm curious because this is a really interesting mechanic for Tiny Cthulhu.
Yeah.
If you lose enough points, you go crazy. So I'm wondering, where is everyone at?
This is only my second. I'm pulling up my character sheet right now because for some reason it just crashed on my PC right in front of me.
Yeah, you're frozen.
Oh, can you still hear me?
Yeah. You're just not. You're like a ventriloquist. You're not.
It's a good frozen.
Yeah. Alan, you might want to turn my camera portion off then for a minute, so that at least you can, instead of seeing me be frozen, you can see Bailey. As long as you guys.
You're back.
No.
I am back.
There we go.
Okay. My whole Windows crashed. I'm surprised that I even stayed on the Streamlabs. That's awesome. That's good. So
it's cool. My mouse is completely crashed on me. So you were like, "Do this," and I'm like,
"Nope."
I have two corruption at this point. Literally, I'm like watching all of you on, and then I have 2 corruption so far. That was my second one.
You lost 2.
I have lost 2. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I have lost.
You don't have 2 left.
Correct. I have 4 left. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I have taken 2. Yes, I said taken 2 corruption points, but yes, I've lost 2 corruption.
Got it. Okay. How about Katie? Where's Katie at?
I'm still max, and I have 7. So I have mystics come with that sweet reroll on corruption fails, which did bite me in the butt once. But
that's true.
I just want to point out you might have all of yours, but you also missed like 2 weeks of in-game play time.
I did.
Play a bird.
Yeah, no, the game works really well because I decided not to take the loss on it was literally my first magic roll, my first sorcery roll.
Yeah.
And I would have and I chose to re-roll, so I would have lost 2 corruption. But I chose to just take my character out and kind of give Maudie control. That was fun though.
Yeah, it was a really good story moment, and I think that it'll maybe actually turn around and be helpful for you as we're starting to make some more corruption tests in the next couple of episodes.
Yay!
Okay, how about Jameson? Where's Jameson at?
Jameson has 3 left out of his 5.
Oh no! Okay,
so I think I'm going to start losing some control of my character.
I think so. How about Molly?
I just flipped back through because I know that I had one check that I passed, and so I didn't remember another one, and I don't have another one. So I this is my first one I've taken.
Okay.
Oh wow! Look at you.
So and I have 7. So I have if I could give some of my corruption points to the other 2, maybe I could give them 1 apiece or something. But yeah, I'll try and help you guys too.
That way, but
I don't think so.
Only.
And that's not a very Molly thing to do either. So no, they're mine. They're my corruption points.
That's definitely not a very Molly thing to do. You're right.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and actually describe what you all are seeing. So those of you that lost corruption points because you failed your saves, you're basically fully understanding what it is that you're seeing. Not exactly in the sense of like you don't exactly know what the thing is, but you understand that this is not a trick of the light. This is not something that your mind can just explain away by saying, oh yeah, the wind is just blowing the trees in a funny way. You honestly believe that there is a giant bird-like creature up at the top of this really tall pine tree on the edge of the town. You're seeing wings expand that are probably like a 25-foot wingspan. It is blocking out the sky as just all around it. And you can also see a pair of glowing red eyes just kind of nestled in between there. Cool. All right. Now, I remember last time, Jameson was very insistent that as soon as he saw this thing, he was going to shoot at it.
That's true. And I guarantee that's probably going to happen.
Okay. I would love to hear some other reactions. What else are other people doing once you see this thing?
I mean, Bailey's probably doing a whole, like, Catholic, like, oh, my God. Pray. Like, he's not a praying person, but if he's ever going to pray, it's probably in a situation like this.
I think one of the last things Katie did was because she saw it first, I believe. I can't remember why or what the circumstances were, but she has seen this figure before when she was on top of the hotel, and then it had disappeared when she tried to go find the others and tell them about it. But same thing, a similar thing happened this time where she was trying to tell people it was up there, and Bailey was like, I don't see nothing. And Jameson was like worried about Katie's mental health and not sure what she was going on about. And I think Katie tried to call out to it, like, it's Coward, come on, I see you up there. Why don't you just come down here? So I think that's probably still her posture.
Okay. She's going to yell at it.
Yeah.
Get down here.
Varmint.
You
giant, huge, odd varmint. Yeah.
Okay. How about Molly?
I'm gonna be like trying not to run, but with losing the corruption points, I mean, I'm still gonna be in control of my character. So I'm probably going to try and not run, but I'm definitely going to be having a stance that's back, like that any moment I'm going to book it. And Ashley, as the player, again, I have a thing for birds, but I don't like birds. So you're like 25-foot wingspan. I'm just like, I hate it.
You don't like birds at all, huh?
No, I don't. I don't like birds. No, Alan. Awful. Yeah. So, but I'm going to be very like just really poised to run, but I'm not going to run quite yet.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So let's go ahead and see what happens when Jameson shoots at this thing. Because I'm assuming, based on your reactions, that a few of you aren't really sure that you want to actually engage in combat with this thing. But let's definitely see what happens when Jameson shoots it. So
Bailey is sure he doesn't want to. There's no doubt.
All right. So Jameson, why don't you try to shoot this thing? See what's going on.
Do out of curiosity, do I have to?
If you want to change your mind, that's fine. We didn't actually have you pull the trigger last time, so if you'd like to change your action, that's fine.
You've had a few seconds to think about it.
Yep.
So I was actually, I didn't want to interrupt what you were going through, what was going on. I actually think I'm going to not lose the corruption point.
Oh, okay.
Because that would take me down to 2 left, and I would like to not be at that number.
That is true. Okay. So what that means for mechanics is you have to, I guess, roll a d6 and
to see how many days.
Yeah, let's see how many days.
I would like to evoke game creator privilege to say no, I don't want to.
I didn't know that was a thing we could do.
Well, I mean, Alan's the only one that has that privilege. So.
Oh, hey, guess who rolled a 6? This is really exciting. Guess who rolled a 6?
Oh, no.
Of course you did.
Now you did.
Yeah. You're supposed to use your low rolling dice on this one.
Dang.
I am traveling, so I'm using an online roller.
Well, dang it. It has failed you, unfortunately. Okay. So basically, Jameson does kind of go crazy. How this is going to manifest for Jameson. We had Katie go into kind of like this catatonic state where she was like seeing things. And like she wasn't really responsive to the people around her, but she was able to kind of see visions. In Jameson's case, because he doesn't have this like mystic connection, instead what we're going to have him actually do is we're going to actually have him, in this case, run. He is going to run out of fear because his usual self would probably go in and try to save the problem with a gun, but in this case he's not going to do that. He's going to do the opposite of what he would do if he were in control of his faculties. So Jameson is instantly going to turn tail and run away. And in this case, that's going to be right on his horse, but he's going to turn toward this town because all of you were kind of going back up toward the mountains to Katie's lodge. Mm-hmm. But to run away from this thing, you have to go back into town. So Jameson is going to go back into town away from this thing. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So the three of you, the rest of you notice that this is what happens to Jameson. Usually Jameson takes point on these types of dangerous scenarios, and suddenly he has run away. What did the rest of you do?
I run away.
Yeah.
Run away.
I was already right there poised to run, and when Jameson turns and runs, I am
right. Yeah. If I look at Jameson and he's already going the opposite direction, I'm like, I should follow Jameson.
That sounds like a good idea.
I think I'm going to be a beat or so behind that because I was already at least visually and audibly and verbally engaged with whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So I would like to see if it's doing anything besides flexing.
Okay.
Like its wings.
All right. So the rest of you don't see this, obviously, but Katie, you do. You notice that as soon as Jameson turned around, this creature seems to kind of like lean over a little bit as if it's focusing on the movement below. So you've definitely drawn attention to yourselves by immediately turning tail and running.
Okay.
This creature flaps its wings a couple of times, and as it does, you smell this horribly fetid scent just kind of pour down from the top of the tree as it does this. And suddenly it leaps into the sky and starts diving down toward Jameson.
Oh boy.
I'm going to shoot it.
I'm going to shout at him. Jameson, look up.
Good.
Okay.
But
So
Don't yell at me to look up.
So Katie is going to take a shot. So Katie, let's go ahead and have you shoot.
Yeah. Okay. It's the first time I've been able to use my rifle. Wait. Where's my rifle stat thing? Okay. Sorry. Where'd it go? Oh well, let me roll first. I got 2 successes.
Okay, you
2
hit the
fives.
creature. Excellent. Okay.
And I'm trying to find. Oh,
The creature.
yeah, I did not write down my rifle. So I have a rifle.
Yeah, I do recall you saying you had a rifle, and we've been
Yeah,
playing.
Yeah.
we've used it before.
Where's
We've
my
used it.
Cthulhu book?
Jameson took a shot with it earlier, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't think I've used it.
Okay,
Oh, here we go. Heavy weapon, 2 damage. That's what I thought.
nice. Okay,
We'll see.
so Katie, you absolutely are able to hit this thing, and it screeches in pain and kind of reels up in the air, kind of trying to escape whatever it hit. It obviously was your bullet, but it doesn't quite understand, so it immediately kind of goes back up in the air as if trying to escape you. It begins to kind of start circling around the top of the town,
Okay.
and you notice that Jameson is actually booking it toward the mine.
What?
And this creature is kind of making circles around the town, following him on Jameson's way to the mine.
Well, I feel like we can't let Jameson go into the mine.
Mm-mm.
He's obviously losing it, so I'm going to chase after Jameson.
And I can still move, like, after I take a shot, like, take off after them, but I'm a little bit behind.
Yeah. So
Okay.
after your shot, we're going to actually go ahead and roll initiative, just so that
Okay.
we have kind of some turns to figure out what's happening as the rest of you decide to do some things to the creature. And it
I
decides.
totally forgot how to do that. Is it just
2
standard?
d6.
Yep.
Add
Just
them
roll
up.
2d6 and add them together.
9 for me.
That's
9
right.
initiative.
Bailey gets 9.
I got 6.
5.
I had a 12.
5. Of course you
Aw. Dang.
Just to be clear, if I hear things chasing up on me, or in real life, I'd be like, oh, those are clearly hoofbeats. And I'm like, oh, great, that thing can also run. And so I'm just
Right.
going to write.
And it has hooves.
It's some weird centaur bat hell beast. Ride harder.
Some weird centaur bat hell beast. Yep. It is all of those things.
The weremoose now have wings.
See, that's right. They have evolved.
I'm just picturing the moose like hanging onto the top of the tree, and then it just spreads its wings. It's great.
Right, like just upside down moose with his big old antlers.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, nothing can. I don't think anyone can beat a 12. So I guess Jameson's
No.
going first. But as Jameson has lost his, again, kind of faculties, he's just deciding to drive his horse straight into the mine, thinking, right, get away from this thing by going inside and going into a dark hole deep, deep, deep into the ground, far, far, far away from this flying creature sounds like the best idea.
It's like a terrible idea.
Okay, so that is what's going on with Jameson. Bailey, it looks like you are next.
Yeah, I'm going to use whatever movement I can use to try to catch up to him. And maybe, like, I don't know, slow down his horse or just get the horse going a different direction or something. Anything I could do to just, like, stop him from going this direction or into the mine, because
Okay.
I don't want to have to go in there after him.
So how do you want to do this? Do you want to like try to tackle Jameson to the ground off
No,
your horse?
I
Like,
think-
grab the reins?
I
What do
think
you-
grabbing the reins, if I can get caught up to him to try to grab the reins, then yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and try to have you do that. Let's go ahead and just have you make just a standard test, unless you have some type of trait that
I have nimble fingers. Does that count here?
I don't.
Trying to get the thing.
I don't know. I still feel like nimble fingers is like trying to like steal something, not necessarily like to.
Sure.
I don't know. I
I'd use it for card tricks too. Sleight of hand. I was like more of a sleight of hand kind of thing. Like, but I it's up to you if I can use it or not, because you're the GM. So
yeah,
that's my best argument.
That's a pretty good one, but I think in this situation it probably wouldn't help as much because
I'm gonna make a regular roll. All right, I got a 6 and a 3.
Awesome. Okay, you are able to grab the reins and try to kind of pull them back. So you definitely have slowed Jameson. Not completely stopped yet, but you definitely have grabbed the reins and pulled on them and slowed.
Right. My goal is to eventually stop him if I can.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and go to Molly. You're next. Jameson's ahead of you. Bailey's ahead of you, trying to stop Jameson from going into the mine.
Mm-hmm.
This
noble
thing
pursuit
is wheeling up above you.
Yeah. I'm gonna run and then try and like turn, like get in front of them and turn sideways to try and like stop, like create a block to get them to stop. Because whether Jameson's in control or not, the horse will probably stop if he sees a horse in front of him.
Okay. Awesome. So let's go ahead and have you roll.
Okay.
And you specifically said that you obviously are from a farming background and you knew horses quite well. So that might give you advantage on this roll.
Oh, cool. Okay. Awesome. And I got one success. So yes.
All right. So you're definitely able to cut off Jameson's horse, Bailey's horse in the attempts to stop it. The horse definitely starts to kind of slow down because it doesn't want to run into another horse. And so it's definitely getting a couple more just stimuli to make it kind of stop and can change its mind from going at this breakneck pace. Okay. Excellent. All right, Katie, it is your turn. You shot at this thing, kind of knocked it up off of its initial trajectory toward Jameson.
But it's still going and it's kind of circling over the party, but also town, looking like it's kind of locked on to folks.
Yeah.
I will take another shot at it.
Okay.
I am on my moving horse. Do you want me to just standard test or?
I'll go ahead and let you do a
disadvantage.
No, an advantage one because you are quite familiar with being on horseback and shooting your preferred weapon. So I think that's totally fine.
Okay.
This is not your first shot from horseback, I'm sure.
No,
you're probably right. Oh, bang on. I got a 6 and a 5. Cool.
Excellent. Okay.
So,
all right, you shoot the thing, definitely. Now, this time, as you shoot it, you actually hear this kind of eardrum splitting screech as this creature kind of opens its mouth, impossibly large, and just like bellows in pain.
Does it look like a mouth and not really a beak? Like it's kind of...
As you kind of look at it, it looks definitely like it's more maybe like a wolf.
Wow.
So it has like teeth that kind of gleam in the moonlight. It has a strange tongue, like serpentine tongue that kind of hangs out of its mouth. And it's definitely starting to drip blood. After you shot it, you kind of see some drops of blood falling out of the sky. And as they hit the ground, it kind of looks more black than red. And it's definitely very gooey and sticky and smells horrible.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, not nice. That's awesome imagery.
Okay. All right. Now, this creature is definitely in pain and very angry. So, again, your shot has kind of deterred it from heading toward Jameson once more. And so because you shot it twice, it kind of seems much more reluctant. And so instead of circling closer toward all four of you, it starts to kind of go back up into the sky. and it just kind of watches you all from a distance. Again, you're just kind of noticing that it has glowing red eyes. You can tell that they're definitely trained on you, wondering, or like, as if it's trying to decide whether or not it should risk coming back down and trying to get you.
Okay. Wow.
It should not risk it.
Okay, so it is going to use its turn to just kind of continue to kind of watch you. Eventually, it kind of starts to circle closer back toward the town, and it actually perches on Barden's house.
Of course it does.
Right.
Nice. No.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, well, Jameson's horse is basically all but stopped. Jameson is still really wanting to go, so he's going to slip off of the horse and run toward the mine.
My goodness, Jameson, we're trying to help you.
Don't make me shoot you.
Stop him.
That is actually
Oh,
fear I
man.
have right now.
I didn't think about that. That's very accurate. Yeah.
Okay.
That is the
well,
story about how Jameson finally shot Bailey.
Yeah.
I mean, he might. You don't know.
And
okay.
They do it again.
Also doesn't surprise me.
All right, Bailey, it's your turn. Jameson has slipped off the horse, ran past the rest of you, and is heading still toward the mine.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like I have to do a tackle. Like I have to do a flying tackle or something if I can catch up with him and get him to the ground. I know I'm not really a match for him strength-wise, I assume, but if I could at least distract him or get him in some kind of engagement until help can come, somebody can help me restrain him, I think that would be my best move.
Okay, well, I'm going to have you do an opposed roll against Jameson because Jameson doesn't want to be tackled. So,
That's true.
Alan, let's have you roll to see
Just
if
a regular
Jameson
roll?
is tackled. Unless you have a trait that makes you very good at tackling.
I don't have a tackling trait, that is for sure.
All right,
Ready?
go ahead.
I got 0 successes. So
Okay.
I was successful.
All right, so Bailey, we can interpret that either as you tackled and just bounced right off of Jameson, or you couldn't stop him.
I would like to interpret that as I couldn't stop him. That's far less embarrassing.
All right, so you tried to grapple him to the ground, and Jameson was just much too strong. Just
He
kept
was.
going.
He was just too strong. That was
Okay.
that was all it was.
All at once. All right. Okay, Molly.
Mhm.
Jameson's still going.
Yeah. Do I have rope? Do I have rope on me? Because I don't. It's not in my investigator's kit, but I'm wondering if that's something that I would have.
You probably don't have rope on you, mainly because the thing that you were doing before this was sneaking into somebody's house, and so I just don't know when you would have gotten rope in between then and now. But you are definitely heading toward the mining kind of camp, where you're more likely capable of finding rope, but it might take you a little bit to actually find some.
Yeah. Okay. So I am not going to be able to tackle Jameson. I know that for a fact. I will go to try and find rope then.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and just have you roll just a search of some kind. Let's see if you can find any.
Yes, I got a 5.
Okay. All right. You find some.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay. Katie, it is your turn. The creature is still sitting up on the top of Barden's house, now kind of far away from you as the four of you kind of gotten a little bit closer to the mine.
Where are the puppers? I wonder. Because maybe we can ask Jameson or Alan where when we come back. But I'm just curious because
I'm here. I just had to turn off my camera.
Oh, no worries. I can't imagine Jameson would have left town with us going to hunker down in the mountains at the cabin without the doggos. But I was curious.
Yeah. My default assumption is generally that they're with me unless we've established narratively that there's a reason for them not to be.
Is the narrative reason that you've lost your mind?
Well, I'm probably trying to outrun them, and they're probably freaking out about it.
Probably. Poor guys. Poor dogs.
Yeah. So dogs are probably close by, running after Jameson.
I would imagine too. I'm going to reload my gun, and I'm going to try to yell to either the others or the dogs. It's like, Aurora, tackle. I don't know if he calls himself anything in their presence, like, or if he just is like boss man or the musher, or
No, I totally Jameson totally dotes on his dogs. He's like all like puppy daddy. Oh yeah.
Oh, awesome. So get daddy, get Papa. Aurora, stop him. And then so maybe those that are closer will help. And I'm going to reload my gun.
Okay. All right.
And I'm still trying to catch up. Okay. And I don't know how we see if the puppers can do anything because they love him. I bet they love him like a lot.
Let's go ahead and have you roll maybe just some type of maybe command animal or something. See if you can communicate that to them.
Okay. Standard disadvantage.
Yeah, unless you have a trait. I know Jameson has a trait. Okay. Well, let's just have you make a standard test then.
Cool. Oops. I lost my die.
See if the animals will understand your command.
I got 6.
Okay. All right. So
my Star Wars dice are on fire today. I'm scared.
Okay. So you're yelling at the dogs and they seem to understand that this is a bad situation and Jameson is in danger. And so they immediately kind of start grabbing at him. Now, Jameson is probably, because he has a soft spot for his dogs, going to be a little bit more inclined to kind of see what they're doing and believe, that if they're trying to tell him like, hey, we're in danger, you need to stop, and they try to stop him by grabbing onto his clothes, he actually is a little bit more responsive to that than he would be to other people. So as the dogs are kind of starting to grab at him and pull him back, he slows to a halt and kind of just like collapses onto the ground, and the dogs just kind of dogpile on top of him, trying to protect him from whatever danger there is.
Oh, that's
there's a lot of it.
All right. So the 4 of you have made it not quite to the mine itself, but the mouth of the mine is probably like 50 paces ahead of you. You're in the mining camp for sure. Molly, you're able to get rope nearby from one of the tents just right by here. And the 4 of you can still see just right on the edge of town, Barden's house, with this creature just sitting up there with its red eyes, just staring at all of you. Okay, it hasn't moved at all.
I'm okay with letting it stay there.
Okay. So Jameson's kind of sitting under his pile of dogs, but Bailey, do you want to do anything?
I mean, I want to make sure that Jameson's okay, of course. I don't you can tell like he's out of it, but we don't know that he's like lost his mind because of the, So to me, maybe it just looks like he's having a panic attack or like something. So I want to check and be like, hey, like, can I like splash some water on him or give him the old slap to back to reality or something? Just see if I can get him to like regain some consciousness.
Okay. All right. As you do this, Jameson seems to kind of come more to himself, but he does not want to look up. Like he doesn't look any higher than this. Like he is pointedly trying to only stare at the ground.
No, I don't blame him for that. Yeah. So maybe give him some water too if he needs it.
Okay. Jameson accepts your water. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and just end combat there because the creature doesn't seem quite willing to go after you. And I don't think anyone else is really wanting to shoot at the thing unless, Katie, do you want to take another shot at it?
I think we should get inside. That's what I would be. Just like we have to get him.
Yeah.
We have to get him out of here. We can't risk going through on the trail to the cabin. I think Molly, can we go to your room? We gotta get at it.
Don't know that going to my room is a good idea if they know, because they are after us, right? The reason we left is because they knew.
No, well,
those crazy innkeeper people.
I don't think Katie would tell you. I don't think they know anything about you and I being down in that cellar.
Because you cast blinding light and blinded them.
Yeah. So
and
the last interaction that you had with Barden was that you cast some type of magic spell that blinded them, and then you stole their book.
Yeah.
Did they see us before she blinded them, though?
No, so she doesn't. So they, as far as you can tell, they don't know who was in their house, who has their book, or anything like that.
No, but you know that they have a very small list of suspects, and your name is probably at the top of it.
I don't know what happened upstairs, Bailey, like what y'all were doing up there, but they should not know we have this book.
Well,
we just burn it.
We could just burn it. I mean, that might solve us a lot of problems, unless there's like an anti-flying man spell in there that we can cast.
I think there is a compelling reason to get out of the open air.
I agree. Okay.
And we can do whatever we need to do with that book afterward, but
burn it.
It's still there.
Okay, so we've gone to the mine and Smoky Falls and the hotel and restaurant. We have to go all the way back through town to get to the hotel.
Nice.
So
you'll definitely have to pass by the financier's office, which is just in front of Barden's house, where this creature is kind of.
There's no back way to get around past it.
If we were to go through like where the mountains were, that's even closer to Barden's house, because Barden's house kind of backs up to the mountain.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it does.
So no good option here.
I keep a bead on it, like I'll keep my gun on it.
Yeah.
Can we get Jameson? Even if delivery or something.
What if we sneak behind where like the gallows, the house, the general store, if we sneak behind those other shops and then cut between the shops and the boarding house up and go across to the hotel?
Yeah, that's definitely
go towards the camp and go around and through.
I'll just point out, people are kind of dying and going missing. There might just be an empty house in town.
That's true, but should we gamble? Because most of the missing people are minors, so it might be more likely that there's a missing or open tent than an open house, maybe.
We're right there. Do you want to see if there's an empty tent?
Well, are we just looking for a place to hide or regroup?
I thought we were up. We started to go towards the mountains where it says mountains on our map, because that's where Katie is. So if we come back that way, we're near the hotel restaurant.
You guys are actually more toward the mouth of the mine, so this is more the
okay. But are we still on the mountain side, not the main thoroughfare through town?
Not on the mountain side. You're on the west side, so like Main Street goes west all the way up to the mine. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm for however you think we should get there, but the longer we wait, that thing's thinking about something.
Okay, if we go to the south of the south part of town and around and then cut up that alleyway that's directly south of the hotel and restaurant, I think that's the furthest away from that thing that we can get there. So I think that's how we should do it.
Whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd take another shot at it, but I don't want to alert the rest of the town either.
Also, it's leaving us alone right now, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Whether it swoops down and picks up a child in 2 seconds is another
Oh my goodness.
Thing. Well, I'm just thinking, like, this thing is not, I don't know. So leaving it is, I don't know. But we need to get Jameson out from being in the open, and us too.
No, that's
with
true.
everything that's happened.
Jameson is not in a great place, it seems.
Not exactly.
What are you?
No.
I mean, you're both in the exact same place. So.
Yes.
I meant more mentally, as in like falling to the corruption. But yes.
Yes.
I mean, Molly, I know you're up for the task. Do you want us to take another shot at it and we put it out of our misery?
I think first and foremost, we need to get to cover, like you said. So I think we should get there. And if we have to take a shot at it during the time that we're on the run, we can. But I don't think we should do that until we have to.
Okay.
Okay. So while you are all talking, you notice that there's actually someone walking down Main Street.
Somebody we recognize or like know from town?
It's a little far away, so I'm going to have everyone roll some type of perception roll to see if you can maybe make out who it is.
Now that skill I have.
Okay.
I got a 5.
Ooh, a 6 and a 5.
Excellent.
5 and a 1.
Okay. So everyone that makes it, you can tell that this is Sal the Miner. And he is walking up Main Street from the saloon. It looks like he was kind of coming out to see what the commotion was all about because he heard gunfire and some horses, running down Main Street. So it looks like he's just kind of looking around, trying to see what's going on. And as he's kind of walking, you all notice that the creature again has spread its wings out and is starting to jump up and flap its wings a couple of times and immediately dives down toward where he is.
We can't let him get Sal. Sal's been good to us.
This would be the whole if we have to shoot it thing.
Yeah.
This would be that. So
Yeah. This would
All right,
be
well,
that.
good luck. I want you to both know we're all counting on you.
Yeah, I pull out my my little gun from my muff of holding and ready to go.
All right. Well, we kind of stopped, let's see, after Bailey. So let's start with Molly at the top of our initiative. We'll go to Molly, Katie, and then the creature. So
okay.
The creature.
Okay, so I pull out my gun, and this is my preferred weapon, so I get the 3d6 on it.
Okay.
And I got a 6.
All right, you shoot the thing. Excellent.
Cool.
Okay. All right, again, it screeches in pain, and this time, because of its screech, Sal has kind of noticed that there's this giant monster coming straight out of the sky for him.
Good.
He lets out a scream. Okay, anything else you want to do, Molly, on your turn?
Can I shoot it twice, or is that just a one combat action, one movement type thing?
Yeah, one combat action, one movement. I was just wondering if you want to move toward it, or
I will start heading. I still want to head more south than straight toward, because again, if I can help someone while I'm saving myself, then cool, I will. But I'm not going to go out of my way. So
awesome.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Are you still on your horse?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, Katie, it's your turn.
Bailey, do you think you can get Jameson to either the livery or the hotel? Like, keep moving.
Yeah, we'll keep moving. You guys go do your thing. I'll get Jameson where we need to go.
I'm gonna take a shot at it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Ooh, I got all successes.
Excellent.
6 out of 5.
Okay.
And so 2 damage.
Awesome. Okay. This time, as you shoot the creature, it suddenly kind of goes limp in the sky and just like smashes down right on top of Sal, just like crushing him into the ground.
Oh my god!
No.
I was gonna run over. Well, it's not my turn, but as soon as I can, I'm gonna run over there.
Oh no!
Sal.
Okay. All right. But as far as you can tell, after it crashes down, it's not moving anymore.
Is it staying being a creature.
Yeah, hasn't changed shape or anything. It's just kind of now on the ground.
Yeah, and so is Sal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can
That
somebody?
basically ends kind of combat. So now you're free to do whatever it is that you want. But...
Well, I'm gonna go run and check on Sal. Probably too late, but I'm still gonna go check.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. So as you approach, you notice that again, this thing had an enormous wingspan, but the wings are kind of all crumpled up as it's smashed into the ground. You're noticing that it doesn't quite have feathers. It has what appear to be just kind of bat-like wings that are just stretched across really thin bone. There's a couple of holes in it from Molly and Katie's shots. Again, it's bleeding this kind of black ichor that looks very viscous and smells terrible, like rotting flesh. You can kind of see a little bit of Sal's body poking out from underneath this thing. As you go toward the front where its head is, you notice that it has just enormous jaws filled with teeth and this huge tongue that's kind of lolling out. And it definitely looks dead. But this is the strangest thing that any of you have ever seen. You've never seen a creature like this before.
Yeah, and I hope I never see one like this again. So, well, Sal's done for then, it looks like.
Yeah, does Sal look dead too, or just the creature looks dead?
Do you want to try to move the creature off of Sal to check?
Can I just poke Sal with my gun?
I'll help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to move him. I mean, especially if I have some help there.
Yeah. Whatever you do take lead on, I will just try to assist you.
Yeah, let's go. Let's see if we can give a little bit of, movement. Just like put a stick in there and something to get that thing to move, because it seems like it's pretty heavy.
It does look pretty heavy. Do you have a stick?
I have a rifle.
We do have the rifle.
Okay. Yeah. As you kind of move toward it, you can hear Jameson's dogs barking. They're just barking like crazy. They don't like whatever is happening.
Well, join the club, dogs.
Mm-hmm. Not a big fan myself.
Absolutely. Okay. So you try to move it. I'm going to have anyone that tries to move it make a strength check real quick.
Okay.
So I'm not going to try to move it. I'm actually still suffering the after effects of my exposure to the monster. If you're doing that, I actually draw my Bowie knife and jump on it and just start stabbing it wildly.
That makes sense.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got one success.
All right, Jameson.
I got one as well.
As you're doing that, there's just black blood just leaking out of this thing, getting all over your knife, getting all out of your arm, getting all over your clothes, the front of you. It's just coming up everywhere.
This is disgusting.
All right.
Thank you for that.
Disgusting. Yeah.
Okay. You are able to kind of roll it over onto its back, and you find Sal underneath there. Sal is also covered in this creature's blood, and he looks like his spine just got snapped right in half. So he is dead.
Okay.
Well, that was too bad. He seemed like a good guy. What a bummer.
To the hotel it is, then.
Yeah.
Okay. You notice that a couple of people are starting to come out of the buildings with torches and with lanterns again. They're trying to see like what happened.
That's a great question.
Also, a couple of people. This is that group of miners that had that giant gold nugget from Barden's house. They went and tried to wake up Mr. Frank to go have him kind of basically cash the gold out to them, and so they're kind of coming out from the boarding house where Mr. Frank was. So they're kind of coming up that alley, and they're all just kind of staring at this creature. and you all four of you just kind of want to get up and just walk away from it.
Oh yeah, like
yes,
peel off.
Oh no, what is this creature here in the middle of the street?
Yeah, babble, peas and carrots, backwards.
Like I kind of think we should say something like, come help, Sal's under here, and then in the rush of them trying to help Sal, we can sneak off.
It was on Barden's house.
Yeah.
It attacked Sal.
Mm-hmm.
Back away slowly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, the interesting thing that you notice as you're all just kind of like giving hints to the townsfolk to take care of Sal, you're noticing that all of the kind of upstanding town founders are not here. So you don't see Barden, you don't see Mr. Riggs, you don't see Mr. Frank even, right? You don't see the sheriff. You don't see any of them.
Sure, they're all doing some secret weird ritual.
Okay, so definitely the miners are curious. Some of them are terrified. A couple of them have gotten their guns and they're pulling them out and pointing them at this giant carcass. A couple of them have been brave enough to kind of try to pull Sal away, but most of them are just kind of unsure of what to do. They're just in complete shock at this creature. Duff comes out and he is just a mess. He immediately sees Sal and starts blubbering, and he can't believe that his best friend is dead. He said first it was Queasy Martin and now it's Sal, and he's starting to kind of weep openly, almost as if this is his way of kind of trying to handle not only the emotion but also just the fear of not really understanding what's happening, because there's a giant carcass of a monster in Main Street.
Yeah. Well, we have no answers, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. So you just want to leave. Where do you want to go?
Where is safe?
Nowhere.
Yeah, that's my fear.
Yeah.
Down here.
I say, would you say, Jameson?
I said not in town.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we could go back to Katie's cabin, but that's quite the trek.
Maybe daylight.
I don't think that worked the way we wanted it to last time.
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. Curtis is still alive, right?
I say
Or
if she'll
back
have
alive.
us, Molly's room is probably the safest. They need to think there's nothing wrong with us. That we're.
And we need to get Jameson a shower because gross.
Yeah. Well,
So-
probably
Yeah,
a lot of us at this point.
Yeah.
Trying
Yeah.
to lift a big bat body off.
Yeah. As he's like spraying the gross blood all over us by just stabbing it repeatedly. So yeah, I would say the hotel, go to my room and hose off.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah, makes sense.
you definitely head in the direction of the hotel. As you get to the facade of the hotel, you notice that the dining room and kind of lower area, which is usually quite well lit, usually has a lot of people in there, is dark. The lights are off. The door's not locked, so you can still get in and go up to the room, but for some reason, there's no one in there.
Because they're all at the creepy ritual thing, I'm sure.
Hey Bailey.
Yes.
When you and Jameson were upstairs, who'd you see?
That's a great question. None of them were named characters that we saw, right? It was like Barden's like manservant person. That's about it, right?
You basically just saw some henchmen.
Yeah, right. That's what I thought. Like nobody important. I think all the important people were probably downstairs in the basement.
When we were down there, it was Barden and Pierre, right? Pierre Lambert, and the former Reverend.
Yeah,
right?
They're all colluding together.
I don't know if we mentioned that before, because I don't know how much
You
talking we did when we were trying to escape.
That.
No,
Yeah.
he is dead.
Well, that's the thing to know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you kill him?
No.
No.
Okay, well that's good.
I think did Barden kill him, Molly? I'm just
Unclear.
yeah.
There was a ritual going on, and it seemed like it went poorly. And then I think Barden may have killed him, or the ritual killed him, one or the other. But we didn't actually see the actual death.
They were not too concerned, though. They were not
very unconcerned, very unbothered.
Real worried.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In that interaction, you did see Barden pull a knife.
Mm-hmm.
You did see the creature fall down.
And he said he was doing it wrong.
Yes.
Yes.
He went too far.
Yeah.
He went too far.
Basically, what happened was he started like screaming bloody murder while he was doing this ritual.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Barden, to make him shut up, probably ended him, right?
Yeah.
You know, whether or not Barden was the one that killed him or the ritual killed him, if Barden was doing the ritual, then I still hold him responsible.
And then, if you recall, at the end of that conversation, Barden said that they would need another person to perform this ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And they
volunteered Connie Caroline.
Volunteered his wife. Yep, Connie Caroline.
Yeah, this is probably the first time we've had to catch each other up, really.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. And it sounds like it's all bad.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
I don't know about that.
You
Well,
sure you're
definitely
okay,
doesn't seem-
Jameson?
Definitely doesn't seem great.
You sure you're okay? Maybe take a bath. We can get you some water.
I will take note of the fact that it's dark and knowing that they had volunteered Connie Caroline and voluntold, really. She doesn't have the place in the matter.
I mean, shouldn't we be going back, try to help Miss Caroline?
She might still be in there. We don't know that she's actually there yet. She might be in the hotel still. So we should definitely check that out and maybe grab a shower while we're here.
Yeah.
And maybe some food.
I feel like your focus on hygiene over the life of potential innocents might be...
I don't know if you understand how bad you smell right now.
Yeah, we don't know what that bat blood can do.
The innocent I'm concerned with is myself right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll bow to conventional wisdom.
Now, Jameson, you do not want to go up any stairs.
Oh, well, that's because heights are terrifying. That's where the crazy bat moose people live.
Yeah.
So,
basically, like being anywhere that higher elevation terrifies you. Like
done. All right. I ain't going up the stairs.
You want to do it.
What?
I ain't going upstairs.
Why?
Stairs are the devil's tool. They lead men to sin.
What?
That's not entirely true.
Entirely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Partially.
Jameson, we're going upstairs.
You still feel like maybe if you could get downstairs, like maybe like go down as far as possible, even maybe weigh yourself down with some rocks in your pockets or something. Like any of that sounds much better than going upstairs.
Yeah. Well, that means the flying things can't get you. All right. I'm going to head to the kitchen.
Don't eat rocks. Just don't eat some rocks. Okay?
I ain't going to eat rocks. Cast iron is
I'll bring you some food. Mm-hmm. Go upstairs with Miss Molly and the pups. Pups want to go upstairs. They liked, right?
I ain't going upstairs. I feel like I was mighty clear about that. I'm like tying like cast iron frying pans around myself to weigh myself down.
There's definitely a lot of them. And as you go into the kitchen, you notice again the lights are off in here. There's no candles or lamps or anything. You do notice that there's a tray of food that seemed like it was dropped onto the ground, and there are a couple of broken plates and some eggs just kind of scattered about.
Well, I don't care how that food got there. I want some. I'm going to eat some. I'm hungry by this point.
Molly, we got to get him upstairs. I don't know what we're going to.
Get Jameson. If Jameson says he's not going upstairs, nothing is going to get Jameson upstairs.
No, especially not with the whole kitchen tied to him. He's we're under some sort of cover now, and if he wants to stay in the kitchen, there is water here too, and we can try and bathe him a little bit. Like,
oh my goodness, we're giving Jameson a kitchen bath.
We're going to give him a kitchen bath. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You can do that. I will turn shyly away while you bathe the clothes, Jameson.
Does it have because you know how, I mean, this may not be back then, but where like fast food restaurants have the thing in the sink that, have you ever seen one of those that you spray and the water comes?
There's definitely not one of
those.
It's like a pumpy thing.
There's a pump in the sink,
okay.
They barely have running water.
Yeah. There really isn't like running water in this facility. It's mostly like they have a well pump that they built the kitchen around.
That makes sense.
So there is one of those in the kitchen. So all of the rooms that had like water it was all in wash basins and pitchers.
Okay. So at the very least, I think that we should try and get as much of the blood off of him as possible, just because being covered in this blood, regardless of the smell, is disgusting. Yeah. It's a bad idea because, I mean, I know from being on a farm that looks like a bat, and I know that bats sometimes can be like carriers of things or whatever, so I'm worried about that, like him getting sick from it.
Okay, but you think that was a bat?
Did you see its wings?
Yeah.
I mean, you know more about that stuff than I do, but I've never seen a bat like that, not even in a drawing.
Have you ever seen anything like that? No. As a matter of fact.
I can't say that I have.
I don't likely think so either. So it could have been a giant bat.
Yeah.
It could be a giant man bat. I do not know. But it is frightening.
So he can continue to tie things, and as he's trying to tie cast iron pots onto himself, I'm just like going around him with like a cloth, trying to wipe some of the nasty crap off of him.
Okay.
And stepping around Bailey on the floor, eating the food.
I'm going to sit at a table. There's chairs, aren't there?
I'm not a barbarian.
I assume there's chairs. Just pumped on the floor.
You can definitely take the tray out of the kitchen to the dining room.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. On your way out, Bailey, as you kind of bring the tray out, you notice that the door to Mr. Lambert's office, which is pretty close to the kitchen, just off of the dining room, is actually open.
I'm going to take a peek.
Okay.
There's no way that I'm not looking in there.
All right. It is pitch black in there.
All right. Do I have a candle?
You can definitely find one.
All right. Let's light a candle.
All right. Okay. As you light a candle, it looks relatively normal. I mean, you've kind of walked past it a couple of times. He has a desk. He has a chair. He also has what appears to be some type of safe in the corner.
I'm going to go take a look at that safe.
Okay.
Take a closer look.
All right. It's definitely locked.
Can I try to open it? Little safe cracking?
Sure.
Is this where my nimble fingers pickpocketing will come into play?
I think that we could maybe make the case for that.
It's finally come into some use.
Finally come to some use. Bailey is our resident con man, so I'm sure he knows how to pick locks.
Let's do it. Let's pick that lock. Ooh, look at that roll. Not like it really matters.
Ooh, nice.
Three successes is still good.
Excellent. Okay. You are able to open the safe, and inside of the safe, you find another kind of giant bag of gold pieces, very similar to the one that you found in the preacher's back room.
All right.
Stopped him from performing the ritual, or when you found him with all of the ritual stuff.
Yeah, so it's just gold pieces, basically.
And then as you lift the bag up, which it's really heavy, underneath you find the book that you've seen the preacher reading from.
Jackpot. All right. I'm going to go tell the group about the book.
Okay.
The money can stay protected in my pocket.
Okay.
If I need to tell about the gold, maybe I will, but I don't need to. So.
Excellent. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and pause there for our break.
Okay.
So we will be back in 7 minutes to find out. About
7 minutes.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Well, yeah. Oh, tissue. Hi there.
Hi.
Hi. What you weren't kidding about ramping up.
I know.
It is happening.
Mhm.
Super glad we're playing this on a night where I don't get to sleep in my bed in my house.
Oh,
Mhm. Yeah,
All
this
these
is gonna be.
Green light.
yeah.
Right. So, it's actually not green at all. I don't know why the camera's doing that. But
So strange.
Yeah.
Because it is. It's like eldritch yellow
Right.
green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The hotel knows. I called ahead and told them.
I doubt that because this was a last minute hotel shift, like after we got off the plane yesterday.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
what makes it even creepier, Alan.
That's crazy pants.
Ryan just knew where you were going.
I just knew where you were going to end up somehow. I can't explain it.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I love that. Thanks.
Thanks for that.
Okay. So, Bailey, do you just go and sit down and eat your meal?
No, I'm telling them about the book. I'm just keeping the gold for myself.
Okay.
Did you leave the book in the
Oh no,
safe?
I took the book.
Oh, cool.
I just pocketed some of the gold. I'll tell people that there was gold there, but before I do, I'm gonna pocket some of it. Then be like,
All
look
of
what
it.
well, no, because you wouldn't believe that there was no gold in the safe. But you might believe that there was only a little bit of gold in the safe.
I think
No.
you are thinking, well, I'm only speaking for myself. Never mind. I was like, Katie probably doesn't care. You can have all gold. But Molly might care.
Mhm.
I just don't want to make it a thing. Like
True.
we can divide the gold evenly, except for the gold I already took. So that way, no matter what happens with the division, I'm already ahead. So it's fine.
It's
Uh-huh.
true because we're kind of early in our collective relationship, so you don't know how we'll react.
That is very true.
Yes.
So
Jameson.
Alan's got his hand raised.
Yeah.
While they're busy arguing about the gold,
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
I go outside.
oh no.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Like point of elevation, like a gully, a ditch, a stream, whatever. And then I'm gonna get down there with all the metal that I'm wearing. I'm also wet because Molly kept wiping me down.
Yes. I was gonna say I would know because I would be trying to wipe you down still and you're tying stuff on and then all of a sudden you just walk off and I'm like coming after you with the washcloth still. So I would have seen this and known this. And
I don't think I would have. I'm still in the office probably while this is happening.
This is
I mean I'd probably call to you guys. I'd be like, guys, he's we got a runner.
So how far are you gonna go from the
Very
hotel to
much wish.
Venison? Because like the lowest point is definitely down the hill toward the tent
Okay.
town into the stream.
Done.
Okay.
The river.
That place.
All right, so that's where he's headed.
Okay.
I'm sure he is.
All right. The dogs are following you. They seem to like you a lot more now that you're not covered in stinky sludge.
Mhm.
Again, they don't really notice that anything's wrong with you, Jameson. They're just kind of happy to tag along as they usually
Yeah.
are.
Why would they? I'm fine. Nothing's wrong. Everything's okay. Cool. Let's
Of
go.
course.
This is
There's definitely
definitely
a sizable crowd now, though, like back behind you where the body is. They're kind of just like standing around there. So no one notices that you're leaving.
Okay.
Molly,
Mhm.
Katie, do you
Yeah.
stop Jameson or do you just want to let him go?
I'm gonna keep an eye on him, but if I would know that he's headed towards the stream then. And
He's
that's gonna get him even cleaner.
But
but
this
he's
is very
tied.
similar to
Doesn't
what
he have a bunch of
happened
cast iron?
to Queasy Martin, remember?
Yeah. How deep is the stream?
Yeah, that's
It
where he got
depends
the
on where you
idea.
are, but the deepest part to where he's headed is probably only about waist high.
But he's
Queasy
probably gonna
Martin.
lay down at the bottom of it to get his yeah. Yeah, I'll try and stop him. I have my rope that I grabbed, and what I was gonna do when I originally grabbed the rope is I was going to lasso him. So I will do that. lasso him and try and. Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead and roll with advantage because I'm sure that Molly has lassoed many a critter.
Yes.
Probably even a man at some point.
Yes. Okay, I got a 6.
Okay. All right, Jameson, you have been lassoed.
What's all this about? I don't know what that actually was. I don't know what just happened there. Miss Molly, I don't know what you're going on about with this here rope, but
just lay down on the ground here. I understand that you want to be down, but remember Queasy? He went into the stream and he laid down at the bottom of the stream, and you can't breathe down there.
Right. No, that makes mighty good sense.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna lay down here. Do you mind getting the rope off me though? It's kind of hard to.
Not gonna happen. No.
Right, but I gotta wipe more of this gunk off, and I can't move my arms.
We'll just dig a hole, and you can have your little hole that you can lay in, and so you'll be deep down below ground level and breathing still.
But I can't wipe the gunk off.
You can do that in the hole. Just take the dirt. Just rub dirt on it. It's fine. It's fine.
You lassoed my arms.
Yes, I will help. I will do that for you. Yes. So just lay in the hole. It's fine. We'll just dig a hole.
Get in the hole. Jameson, get in the hole.
All right. I sit down in the hole. And as soon as she gets close, I'm going to try to hit her with a frying pan.
Okay. How subtle are you being about trying to hit her with the frying pan?
What do you mean, like how close am I waiting until she gets?
Yeah.
Oh, well, his arms are pinned, right?
Yeah, I mean, your arms are pinned, but I mean, he could try.
So you can just
he doesn't have a reach.
A little off kilter. I'm probably swinging a little too soon.
Okay. All right. So Molly, I won't make you roll to dodge it because again, his arms are pinned. He's sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna break and try to run to the stream.
With the lasso still around your waist.
I figured this is gonna work. I'm gonna try.
Yeah. So you've got the lasso around you. You've got pans hanging off of you, so you're weighted down. You're in a hole that you have to get out of. All of these things, and you're gonna try and run for it. Cool.
Look, if ever someone was gonna illustrate a scene from this should be the scene.
This should be the scene.
Jameson running with his pants half down, lasso, trying to get to the stream.
Pots and pans around his waist.
Pots and pans tied around him.
Clank, 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 clank.
Your leg strength must be really good. Is all I'm thinking. Like your quads.
I mean, it probably is. He's a long
musher.
distance musher.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got the strength.
If that doesn't work, by the way, I'm gonna draw my gun and try to shoot Molly.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, let's have you first roll to see if you can jump up and run towards.
Try to stop me.
And Molly, let's have you make some type of opposed strength to kind of pull him back with your rope.
Things are getting intense.
Where are my friends right now? Where are you guys?
Catching up. I mean, I was in the back room.
Yeah, and I don't know that we really had that conversation unless we did.
I was
there, and I said, "We got a runner," and took off after.
So
I will catch up to you whenever I can catch up to you from that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be right behind you. If you would have yelled that he's on his way out.
Yeah, she did yell he was running.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know. So there is a spell I could try, and Jameson's my buddy. I know him more than probably anybody around here.
You definitely do, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't talk to anybody. I don't talk to anybody. We're like this because of that. So there's a spell where you can a target can recover a point of corruption. But I'm wondering if that would work for helping. What I'm envisioning is she would just get try to connect with him, do her best to just try to connect with him and speak to him and try to pull him out. And so it is, I don't know what page it is, but basically a person can recover a point of corruption. And I'm wondering if it could work in this case, or if it can just work with and I can only do it this is a once in a campaign thing.
Sure, we can definitely have you try it.
Okay. Well, it's no test.
Oh, no
it just
test.
happens.
No, it just happens,
Nice.
and it's once a month.
Okay.
Caster cannot use the spell more than once in a full moon cycle.
Oh, wow.
But I would like to know how, because this affects Jameson too. So I would like to, as a player, know if he would even want that to be a way to interpret that spell.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
And if Marty's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, let's do it. The clear
Okay.
mind spell.
Clear mind.
Great
You got
one,
it.
Yeah. Excellent.
So once she catches up, because I mean, Molly's doing her best to try to manage the situation, and she's doing a really good job trying to get him to just hunker down, dig himself a little trench. But we saw what happened to Queasy, and I'm seeing these pans of, he's tying stuff around his waist, and he's like looking agitated. So it's just like, I'm going to come right up to you and try to kind of put my hands lightly on your arm. So I'm not like trying to control you or hold you, but it's just like trying to make contact. Jameson, it's Katie. Something happened to you because of that thing back there. I think it happened to me too. You took care of me. I want to take care of you. You can come back. You just gotta see where we are. You gotta see us here, not be in that place where you're at. Your Aurora's right here. All the pups are here. Storm, Mishka, right? Pockets, goddamn pockets. It's like smelling. Never mind. Okay. We're all here though.
Jameson, you feel like you can trust Katie.
Sure.
You feel like you understand exactly what she's saying. You don't feel this compulsion to go down into the river anymore, but you still definitely don't want to like go upstairs, climb a tree, get taken into the sky.
Okay. Ooh.
But we're going to go ahead and just give you control of your character again, because that's a really cool spell, and I like that Katie thought to use it. So.
Step off just so I'm not all up in my grill.
No worries. That's
Alan's first action in Control Jameson is to go lay at the bottom of the river.
Be a man of his word, right?
Right. I am what I am, and I said what I'm going to do.
Jameson, don't back down.
I know. I was like, if ever a time to have another Jameson in the party would have been when Jameson was not in control of Jameson.
Right.
Because I'm like, we should have punched him, but we just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, Jameson, you wanted to shoot Molly just a second ago. How do you feel now?
Howdy.
I'm holding on to the rope, looking at him.
What's with all the pants I'm wearing?
Good question, Jameson.
Katie's going to start to just laugh because it's like, thank the stars.
Okay, Bailey, you by this time come out of the restaurant hotel.
Yes. I'm glad the excitement's over because I got something to show everybody. Book. Book.
Hey, Bailey can read now.
Yes.
Oh my God.
This has taught me everything. This is the book. I found it. Mission accomplished. We have 2 books now, correct?
Yes, now you have 2 books.
We do have 2 books.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost a full set, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We don't actually know how many books there were, do we?
As far as you know, there was only 2. I mean, you saw one that the preacher had, and you knew that Delilah had one in her suitcase. So
that's true.
Those are the only 2 books that you are aware of.
Kind of just forgot about Delilah, didn't we? Like, she was maybe thrown down a cave to her death, maybe not, but I don't know if we're gonna go back and find out.
Yeah. Someone had mentioned earlier burning these books. We have a really good hole dug right here that we can do that in.
Yeah, I'm all for the burning of the books.
I'm game.
Like, these books might contain unlimited power, but I'm not really interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hold on. When you say unlimited power,
Use the wrong words.
I'm saying that I don't know how to use it. I don't know that anybody here knows how to use it.
Use
the book.
I don't know.
I definitely couldn't tell you.
Do we want to know how to use the book? I don't want to know how to use the book.
Given what I've seen of the people who use the book, I definitely want nothing to do with it.
No.
Well, that's why I'm all for burning it. 100% for burning it.
I mean, it might not hurt to let. Kind of curious what's inside, but
I mean, we could take a peek. I bet, right? We could take a peek.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It was important to Delilah's father.
Yeah,
Barton.
I'm okay with taking a peek.
If you're going to take a peek, it's probably not going to be a good idea to do it out here in the open and in the dark because it is nighttime.
Well, yeah.
And we're near the tent camp, sort of. Okay.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Jameson didn't quite make it that far. You're still like in town on Main Street.
Oh, okay.
We should probably, I guess I should probably return Miss Caroline's pots and pans to her kitchen. I suspect she'll.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. We won't tell anybody.
Honest to God, we need to get those pups a treat. They've been working hard in the last 30 minutes.
And I pictured them when I was pulling on the rope trying to get him from climbing out of the hole with all the pots and pans. They were also like teeth on the rope pulling too.
They're stars.
Mm-hmm.
Little fluffers.
As you're going back into the hotel, you notice that that crowd that was over by the carcass, it's starting to disperse. Some of the miners are heading back toward your way, on their way back to the tent camp. And a couple of them you recognize as members of the mob that you took into Barden's house. And they see you and they say, you killed that thing, right? You're the ones that found it? The thing that killed Sal?
Oh, I don't know. Is that what people are saying?
And they kind of look at Jameson, who is kind of cleaned up, but he still has some like black goo on his pants. And they're like, well, I mean, we saw you move the creature off of Sal, and Jameson was stabbing it.
It crashed on a friend of ours.
Well, yeah, Jameson was a little angry, but
we weren't just going to leave it there.
It's a lot easier to stab something when it's already dead.
And Duff kind of comes up and says, do you think this is the demon that Queasy Martin was talking about? The one in the sky, the one that was threatening to grab people?
I don't
Given
believe
what our friend just did, yes, I think it might be connected.
Yeah. Came off of Barden's house. You hear that? They are talking about that. Perched right up there on Barden's house, looking all evil, staring Sal down. Then it crashed right into him.
And Duff seems so worried, and he says, maybe I ought to go talk to the preacher about this. I mean, we have it here. He would know what to do about this, right?
Sure. Yeah, let's go talk to the preacher about this.
And they're like, do you know where he is? Because the church is gone.
Nope. No idea. Haven't seen him.
They
nope.
say,
Not at all.
Okay, well, we'll go ask Mr. Barden then what to do about this thing.
Yep.
I would just pray on it tonight, Duff. Pray for some guidance.
Oh, believe me, I'll be doing all the prayers.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd be disturbing Barden this time of night.
He says, but it's a real live demon. I've never seen anything like this before.
Not so alive anymore.
Not alive, whatever it is. Demon or not, it's obviously dead, so I don't know how threatening this thing even was to begin with.
Tuff says, "Oh, okay, but I'm at least gonna go knock on Barden's door to see what maybe his henchmen think." So he kind of.
I like that you're even calling them henchmen.
Well, he was part of the mob that went to the house.
Oh, look at
That's
all those
true.
henchmen. That's true.
That you riled them all up, which is awesome.
Awesome. I mean, because they wanted to string him up and hang him, right? Last time.
That's true. He's no friend of theirs, I imagine.
Anymore,
Yeah.
no. Okay. So Duff and some of the other miners go off. The rest of them kind of disperse to the tent town. But you do notice that some of the miners are kind of sticking around with their guns as if they're like guarding the body.
It's probably a good idea.
Okay. All right. So the four of you go into the hotel.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
We have to go return the pans.
Pots and
That's-
pans. You can definitely do that.
Get the puppies a treat.
Mhm.
And give the puppies a treat.
Yeah.
And go
there's-
take a peek at the books
Okay.
to see what's in there.
All right. So you turn on some lamps. You take a look at the books. One is the book that you got from Delilah via Barden, right?
Mhm.
Snatched it right out of his hand. And then there's obviously the other one. Now, the one from Delilah's room is called, let's see, the Germinations of Alchemical Truths. Okay, and this book looks to be about this thick. It's got gilt edges. It's got a beautiful leather-bound cover with kind of some gold embossing and scroll work on the front of it.
Fancy.
It is a very nice tome. Right.
Well,
The other one looks to be basically the opposite. This one looks like it was made out of the oldest vellum that's been dragged through centuries of grubby hands. It is very awful. The cover of it is so worn that you can't even read the inscription of where someone had written the original title of it. And as you're kind of holding it, Bailey, you feel like it's kind of cold and clammy, almost as if the book itself were kind of sweating in your hands.
Gross. This is the grossest thing I've ever held. All right. Well, we're still going to read it, though. Or at least see if we can even make sense of it, I guess.
So do you all crowd around one book, or does one person open one, another person open another? How are you doing this?
I'll just the one from the preacher and Barden, I'll just put it on the bed. Anybody can, so we can all kind of see it at the same time. And
Okay, you're still on the ground floor, so you're probably
we didn't go to
dining
okay.
room, or because Jameson doesn't want to go upstairs.
Oh, okay.
I still don't want to go upstairs.
Yeah, you still don't. You don't feel necessarily like you want to go down into the mine anymore, but you just kind of are a little wary of anything that's like above your head.
So you can be in the kitchen, or you guys want to be in the dining room?
Yeah, I mean, either one's fine.
Yeah.
No one's around. It doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah. So yeah. Cool.
All right. So you open the clammy book.
Sure.
Okay. Who's holding it? Who's opening it? Who's doing this?
I mean, I have the book, but I'm more than happy with Katie opening it since she knows how to read magic. Or like,
know how to read magic.
More than I
talking. Yeah. Just put it right there on the carving counter.
All right, sounds good to me.
You can just turn the pages. I'm not the boss of that book.
The pages kind of stick together, and you kind of have to peel them apart just a little bit.
That's also gross.
Now, as you peel them apart, you notice that most of the book is actually written in a language that you don't recognize. It has a lot of strange drawings of weird circles and maybe symbols. And it definitely has a bunch of notes in various languages kind of written in the margins, some of which are in English. So even though you can't actually read the book itself, you can read a couple of the notes that are written in English. Do any of you read other languages besides English?
Mm-mm.
I mean, if we're being honest, I probably barely read English.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I mean, you don't have a huge need for it.
No, I probably wouldn't.
All right. So as you're looking through it, some of the notes. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, does it look really fancy, like it's illuminated, or you know what I mean, like an illuminated manuscript, or it's just
It kind of seems like it definitely was back in the day intended
Wow.
to be a beautiful volume. So whoever created it initially definitely put a lot of time and care into the drawings and diagrams and initial kind of writing. But it's so old that it's definitely been ill-used by many people. So at this point, the pages are, like I said, kind of sticky. There's notes written all over the margins in various places. You can even see what appears to be some types of like brownish stains on some of the pages.
Just keeps getting better and better.
So this is no longer a beautifully well-kept book.
Is there any English, or it's mostly?
Yeah, there are a few small kind of marginalia notes. It seems like someone was able to decipher parts of the book, and that they wrote that the book's title is Laughter from Beyond the Sky.
I'm not laughing.
Okay.
Can anybody read this?
As you're kind of flipping through it, you notice that one of the pages actually has a symbol that looks like an open doorway with a light kind of peering through it.
Is that have we seen that symbol somewhere before?
I have seen that symbol somewhere before.
I know. It was a tattoo or something.
It was a tattoo.
Yeah, on Queasy. Or
it wasn't on Queasy.
No.
It was on Curtis, right? Yeah,
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Curtis had that tattooed on the back of his neck.
That's right.
Oh, interesting. Well, I don't know what it means.
Okay.
Somebody explain to me what this means.
As you kind of look at the symbol a little bit closer, someone wrote on the margin, English doorway spell.
Ooh, that sounds like a fun one. I hope it can make us a doorway out of here.
Yeah, but where?
There's no
I would take
other
anywhere.
About it. It just says doorway spell there.
I would be, yes, it might make a doorway that we can go through, but what else can come through that into here? Because if it's a big door, then like that kind of thing out there might be able to come through.
What, you mean doorways open from both ends?
They do, most of them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
God, I love Bailey so much.
As you turn the page past the doorway spell, actually a piece of paper appears to be just kind of like shoved in there like a bookmark. And as you pull it out, you kind of recognize it as having Pierre Lambert's handwriting. You've seen him plenty of his papers in his office, and he's always kind of the manager of the hotel, so he's always writing bills and notes and things like that. So all of you can recognize his handwriting. And as you pull this paper out, you realize that it's actually some type of ledger or record of certain guests in the hotel. Now, Jameson and Katie, you actually recognize some of the names on this list. Some of them include current town members, so obviously the Lamberts, like Connie Caroline and Pierre. We also have Mr. Frank. We also have obviously Barden and a couple of members of his posse. They're all written in there. But Katie and Jameson, you also notice that there are names of people in there of rather wealthy people that came to invest in the town and didn't stick around. Jameson, you assumed that they just left for the winter and never came back because you're not a permanent resident of the town.
Right.
So you came, you met them, you left. By the time you got back to town, they were gone.
Sure.
Katie, same thing with you. You're noticing that some of these people, you remember seeing them and meeting them in town, and then suddenly, right, they just weren't in town anymore. And okay, that makes sense in some cases, but you're just kind of noticing that there are, in this list of names, some of them that have a small X near them, and some of them that don't. The names that have X's are all of townsfolk that are still here. The names without X's are people that have disappeared. At the very bottom of this ledger, you notice that Molly's name has been written, and so has Delilah's name, Delilah Whitaker. Both of those names have been written in this ledger, and there is not an X next to either of them as well.
Well, you made the cut.
I thought you said the opposite. Did you say
Yeah.
the X's?
The X's are the ones that are
there.
still in town. The ones
Yeah.
that don't are the ones that are not.
I think they're saying they didn't make cut.
Or not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine the X's for the people that didn't make it, that were cut from the program, so to speak, right? Because it's not nobody that's still there has an X next to their name, right?
No, everyone that is still there has an X.
Oh,
next to
I'm
their
sorry, I misheard you. I thought you
No,
said
I'm
everyone
sorry.
that left or that was gone
Mhm.
had an X.
No, everyone that's still here, which makes you wonder, right? Like, if the people that are still here have an X next to their name, then there's obviously some type of distinction because Molly's still here
Mhm.
and she doesn't have an X next to her name.
Was this Delilah's book we were looking at?
No, this is
Reference.
the old.
This is the
reference
old
book.
one. Okay.
Are these people the ones that have the X's? Would I be able to? Because for a while I was very interested in the fact that there were a lot of people who had the things on their palms, the marks. Are the
Yeah.
people that I noticed with the marks the ones that have the X's?
Yes, every person that you recognize as having those marks has their name on this list, and they have an X next to their name.
Well, I have a feeling if I would have gone through with the little invitation that Pierre had extended to me, my name would have a little X next to it.
Yeah, probably. Or, they would have
You're
some
welcome.
weird, or you would have died to some mysterious spell. So it could have gone either way.
Yep.
Now, as you kind of study this piece of paper a little bit more, you turn it over and you notice that it kind of has what appears to be some type of rough translation of the book and the pages where it was kind of stuck in. And this is, again, written in English in Pierre Lambert's hand. And it's basically a list. And it lists 3 things. At the top it says doorway spell, right? Like the page that you were just looking at. Okay. And the first one says basically death. Second one says the door opens. The third one says make the visitor happy.
I don't like that at all.
No. Okay.
I have no intention of making the visitor happy, whatever that means.
So this creature, you guys, especially you, Katie, you've lived here for a long time, right?
For fair bit.
And you've never seen anything like that.
No.
So would you say that might be a visitor?
Now that you say that.
Because if we look at the list here, death, we've had a few deaths, right? We've had Queasy Martin. We've had the person we found up on the hill that had eaten
Bitten off Queasy's finger.
Queasy had bit off his finger.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there have been a few deaths. So if at that point, but it was already here, probably, because it was lifting people up into the sky and dropping them.
I mean, there could be more than one of this thing.
Oh, I don't like that.
So do you think if they brought him here with this book,
I think that might be. Yeah.
can we get rid of him with book? Or do we just throw this book right there in that stove?
I mean, I don't think the stove thing is the worst idea.
Yeah. Still not opposed to burning it.
Yeah.
Jameson, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
I mean, as far as I know, these things die if you shoot them, so I don't think we need the book.
Yeah. Maybe
Fair
leaf
enough.
through to see if there are any other notes in English that we can just kind of glance at.
Okay, in order to do that, it'll probably take you a little bit of reading because, again, these notes are just like everywhere. It's definitely not a systematically studied book. So in order to maybe study and see if there's other clues that you can find, it might take you a little while to have someone actually like do a lot of checking.
Well, we've got some time. Might as well spend the night with it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So is there a specific person that wants to do that, or
just spend the night with the book?
I mean, I'm interested in what it has to say, but I don't know that I need to.
Let's look at that other book. Maybe
Yeah,
they're they go together.
A complete set. Well, they were looking for this book for a reason, so you might not be far off.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
They might have killed Delilah for it.
All right, so as you open up the other book, again, this is a completely different volume. This one has beautiful paper. It has, like I said, gilt edging. The pages seem very crisp as you open it. It's basically, again, just a huge volume. It is like this thick. It has got tons and tons and tons of information inside of there. As you're reading through it, it just kind of seems like most of it is some sort of strange history, talking about the ins and outs of this alchemical cult of some kind, stemming back from Paracelsus. It talks about specifically how this cult has survived by passing down secrets to alchemy, and essentially, right, you find kind of the page where Barden and the preacher were kind of looking through, because it has a little bit of the preacher's blood just kind of making a couple of the pages stick. And as you open that part up, you are able to see a specific ritual that allows you to transmute stones into other precious metals and gemstones as well. However, it does seem like this is only a temporary transmutation. So it will last for about 60 days, and then the gold or the spell essentially wears off. So it needs some type of either recasting of the spell in order for it to continue to work, or a refresh of some kind, but it's only a temporary transmutation.
I better spend that gold I got quick then.
Okay.
And again, because this particular book is really thick, it's going to take you a long time to figure out kind of like what's going on, what part of the book might be useful.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We don't see, like, in either book, like, there aren't images of the stuff we've seen, are there? It doesn't sound like the alchemical one, but I mean, I don't know.
As you're kind of flipping through, you are seeing like a lot of diagrams, but not actually like pictures of things, like actual objects or anything like that.
So they don't, I mean, on the surface, other than the one book being clammy and creepy-ish because it's old,
Right.
they don't seem particularly like evil or creepy in that way. They're just like old books.
As far as you can tell.
Right. Yeah.
Now you do recall, right, that when the preacher was reading out of both of those books, right, he was speaking in a language that wasn't English.
That's true.
So somehow, after getting both of the books, he was able to read something that was some sort of incantation that wasn't in English. Now, you're not sure you could try that because there's nothing to actually read as far as phonetically goes.
Yeah.
It's really hard for you to do that because you don't read the runic kind of alphabet that the Clammy book was written in. And as far as you can tell, there's just a lot of history in the other book that you might have to kind of parse through before you find something useful.
But they thought Connie Caroline could just pick up right where the Reverend left off.
Right.
So...
Well, it didn't seem like I wasn't there, never mind. But
no, we talked about it. So
I don't think the Reverend was the one doing the work. I think they were just drawn from his power.
He was
the one reading, though.
You think they were speaking through him?
Well, no, but I mean, they were making him read the book. Like,
but he could speak the words.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. He learned what the words were. Yeah.
And I'd say it's another. Oops. I don't know what that is.
Doesn't sound good.
No.
I hope that wasn't somebody's fire alarm.
Was it?
I mean, I don't. If you're suggesting we should just read it, I think that's a bad idea. But I don't know.
No, I'm just saying. There's 4 of us here, and I'm not saying we're the best readers, but we heard what the Reverend was speaking, and it didn't sound like Swedish or, Italian or German, but he knew how to speak it, and they're thinking Connie Caroline can just pick up this book and.
Well, maybe they were planning on teaching her. Maybe she's been studying. We don't,
Yeah.
She could have been preparing for this to be part of this, waiting for her chance.
So it was when we heard the preacher, it was not a language any of us recognized at all. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very possible she's ready to speak it now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's true. So do we hang on to them in case or do we just burn them?
I still think we burn them.
I'm still for burning them.
Yeah. Just because I can't foresee anything we would need these for, and I can see things that they would need them for that are bad. So I say we get them.
Yeah, like better safe than sorry.
Yes.
Put them right in the stove.
Yep.
We'll stoke the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Burn them up.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Do you just dump both of the books in the stove?
Yeah.
In the oven?
I think we would probably need to open it and put it face down. I would think just putting the big leather bound book in the fire might not do a whole lot. So open it up and put it face down.
Is there any, we're still in the kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any alcohol nearby?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, toss a bottle on the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So
I just want you to know that I'm very uncomfortable that we're burning a book because
I know.
I
hate it.
It's not a good book.
I ran that Marty played in a Lovecraftian game, and I know what happened. And now I'm waiting for my comeuppance.
Gina has a hard time because it's a book. So
Right.
It's a book. It's got inherent value because it's a book.
Yes.
Yes, an evil book of evil, but it's valuable evil.
okay. So you put the books in the fire. One's open, the other one you just toss in. Jameson throws alcohol in the fire, and you can definitely hear, this kind of sizzling sound of combustion in the stove. But then suddenly the door slams open to the stove, and all of this strange glowing ichor starts to pour out of the front of the stove right onto the floor, and it immediately, as if it were some type of live serpent, starts zooming with these strange kind of ichory tentacles toward each of you.
Ah,
oh no,
that was unexpected.
That's unexpected.
I don't even know what to do about that.
Well, good thing we got a week to figure it out.
I know.
Stop there.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Well, I don't need a week to figure out that I'm running the other way.
I was like, I'd jump on the counter. I don't know. I'm the opposite of Jameson, where I want to be up as high as I can get right now.
Let's go upstairs. Jameson's like, nope, I will not. Oh man.
Wow.
Smoke tentacles. Smoke tentacle beasts.
Not smoke ichor, like the
yeah,
goopy stuff.
Yes, gross little goopy stuff. Mm-hmm. Terrifying.
I hope they're not face huggers.
I mean, you can keep giving me good ideas.
Oh my gosh, that's good imagery though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, awful, but awesome.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
awesome.
Thanks for playing this week, guys. It was good to get back into it.
Yeah.
So good.
Another really amazing game.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Very good job.
The pieces are starting to come together for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was my dinner bell. That dinner was ready. So I was like, mute. Sorry.
Your dinner bell really sounds like a fire alarm. So
yeah, it's weird. It came with the house.
Piercing. Yeah,
I know. Because there's one in my room right here.
Really?
Literally right above me. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I don't even have a dinner bell, so that's kind of cool.
No dinner bell here either.
It's a fire alarm. It's a smoke detector.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
that's your dinner bell. Now I get it.
Yes.
All right, looks like we're gonna say goodbye now.
Yeah. Bye.
I'll play us out.
Yay. Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Wow.
Yes.
That's such a good logo and theme music. It's
all of
it's
it's
so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, it's not great is that we're getting attacked by an ichor tentacle monster coming out of a stove.
I am spent.
We'll burn it. We'll burn it alive.
From being
the minute the book was getting burned, I was like, no.
Oh yeah, I knew from a meta standpoint, there's no way that it's just gonna be that easy. But you do what you gotta do.
Get to them, so I kind of deserve it.
I have not played a lot of Cthulhu before, so I mean, I expected that it might not go well, but I did not. That was fabulous.
Yeah,
when I was planning the session, I was like, they won't burn the book, will they? Because I was thinking about
yes, we will.
That campaign that Alan was referring to, and I was like, oh, maybe I should plan for just in case they do.
Yes.
I mean, there was no value for us to keep it around.
Mm-hmm.
Like we couldn't use if we could have used it to turn the tide, then maybe there would have been some benefit for us.
And I think that's kind of what I was trying to hint at was if you studied the book for a little longer, you probably might have learned some more things from it. Just because I'm definitely not going to be like, oh, you can just easily find this spell and you know exactly how it works just from glancing at a page. You know, so.
No, but I think I feel like it was a good call for the characters because they know it's been used for malintent and
villainy.
Yeah, and that we couldn't initially just see any inherent value in it. So it's like I think it was Molly said it, like, just don't let them get their hands back on it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they burn either. That's the other thing that Gina kept thinking about. It's like, yeah, what if they don't burn?
They didn't burn. Yeah. They're just like, oh, it's got a protective bubble around it and nothing's happening. Yeah.
I figured if that was the case, it would come out, and it did come out.
Yeah, it's got tentacle guardians. Wow.
Yep. It's not going to go well.
Alan's corruption thing was awesome too.
Yeah.
I got feely because I was like, he might die.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know character death can be pretty darn powerful in a story and stuff, but like it was more like a Katie's like, we've seen what's happened to people, and it's like, can't let that happen to Jameson.
Yeah.
If we can help it.
I tried.
I thought you were doing great.
When we were on the horses going toward the mine, that's why I was like, do I have rope? Because I will lasso him from my horse and just like, and it ended up we didn't need to do it by then, so I still had my rope. And so when he was still acting like that, trying to go and take a nap at the bottom of the river, I was just like, I will do the thing I was going to do earlier then. Just lasso him.
It worked out.
And I just the visuals though of him with cast iron tied to him with like his and he's trying to like,
run to the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably like clanking. Like clank, clank,
right.
Clank.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm in hotel and it's midnight.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I'm
fun game tonight, everybody.
To it was a blast.
Yeah. It was a blast.
And everyone will be back next week for episode 8. And then there's only 4 more after that.
Oh my goodness.
Aww.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one, folks.
Take care, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.